Hey everyone, I wanted to make a video about Curve Finance and specifically about this CRV token release that happened yesterday. It happened really abruptly. It created a lot of confusion, and I spent a lot of time trying to figure out what I should be doing so that I could continue earning CRV token and how I could get situated to participate in the governance moving forward. Since it happened so abruptly, I think that it took a lot of people off guard, and the information flow has been a little bit lacking. I feel like there's a little bit of asymmetry in what people are aware of about the Curve token, and I just felt like I should make a video to hopefully help people who are in a similar situation as myself. So just to give some background, I've been a liquidity provider in the SUSD pool for quite some time. So this is, a couple of months before the CRV token actually launched. And before the CRV actually launched, LPs have been eligible to accrue CRV token for this launching event. So I knew that I was eligible to have tokens. I didn't know how I'd have access to them really. So I wanted to figure that out and what's the deal with that. So just so you know about the SUSD pool, not only are you earning interest on your deposit itself and the trading fees that you earn, that's what you see with the APY here, and it says 11%. You're also earning 5% SNX rewards. So that is through Synthetics in partnership with Curve to offer an incentive for liquidity providers since Synthetics has their SUSD stablecoin that they want to create a lot of volume for. So it's incentivized through them through their Minter app here. So this is the Synthetics Minter. And part of the problem I came across is that in order for us in the SUSD pool now to earn our CRV token, we have to actually have the SUSD pool token and deposit that into the Curve DAO so that we can continue earning CRV. It was a little convoluted. I'll just show you what I ended up having to do, which was simpler than maybe it sounds like it is, hopefully. Right. So okay, yeah. So I'll just go over to the DAO. And first things first, I knew that I'd been supplying liquidity to Curve. I knew that I was eligible for CRV tokens. I wanted to know how many I had. So I went over to the vesting tab here. And so it turns out that if you've been supplying liquidity previously to the CRV token launch, you can't access your tokens right away. There's a vesting schedule that happens over the course of a year. And over the course of the year, you'll progressively have access to more and more of your tokens. So you can see, this is my unvested tokens. Can I get rid of that? So initially, I have no tokens available to me. And over the course of a year, August 9th, 2021, then all of my tokens are available to me, right? So that's all that's showing. So if you've been supplying liquidity before the CRV launch, you should come to this vesting tab and check out, how many tokens do you have locked initially, and what's your vesting schedule looking like? How many tokens locked? How many unvested tokens do you have now? It looks like I have 129 tokens I can withdraw. So you can just simply click to claim your tokens. You'll be MetaMask will give you a transaction that it wants you to make, and then you can withdraw your CRV. The next problem I had was, well, the SUSD pool token needs to be deposited in the Curve DAO, so I need to have that token. But I don't have that token because my token is already deposited in the Minter contract here. Well, it was, anyway. So I needed to retrieve the SUSD pool token. And this doesn't just go with Minter. If you have your pool tokens locked anywhere besides your personal wallet, then you need to withdraw those to your wallet. And they actually, the Curve guys show you how to do this in this guide here, the guides.curve.fi. So it's called How to Earn and Claim Curve. So this is the little section you want if you are like me and you were an SUSD provider. How do you go about getting your tokens from Minter and redepositing them, and will you still get your SNX rewards? How does that work? This section kind of answers that for you. So what the Curve guys tell us is that you go to this link here, and that's actually where we happen to be right now. So this is the same page here. So you're going to click on the deposit tab, or button, excuse me, and then you'll get a transaction to approve spending your pool tokens, and you'll get a transaction to deposit them in this DAO gauge contract. And they do tell us here that your LP tokens will automatically be staked back on Minter, so you can keep earning your SNX or your SNX and REN incentives. That's in the case of the SBTC pool. Synthetics has another incentive program there. And you can earn those incentives in addition to the CRV token. Okay? So what I just went ahead and did, I went over to the Minter website, and I went to my pool and I withdrew the tokens that I had locked in Minter. So once I had those tokens, I came over, well, that's not working. I came over to Curve, and I was prompted here with two messages, either unstake your Curve token, or it said deposit your SUSD liquidity token. And that's what I just went ahead and did. It's just a simple button, just click deposit. I was kind of concerned about, what would go on with that, but I just had already had my pool token in my wallet. Just click deposit, go through the approved transaction. I go through the deposit into the Curve contract transaction, and then that was, then I was all set. I was then a bit surprised because my SNX rewards will no longer show in Minter. So I'm not 100% clear on how safe that is, but it appears that the SNX rewards are via the Curve gauge contract now. So I need to go through the gauge contract in order to claim my SNX. And I can actually show you on the contracts here. If you go to SUSD gauge address, you can see this is the Curve gauge address, and you can see all those pending transactions because gas is crazy. And you can see the SNX token is accruing to the gauge contract, which you can then withdraw into your own wallet when you choose. Again, I don't know. I'm still kind of trying to wrap my head around this deal, and I don't really like it because I was used to going to the Synthetics Minter and dealing with my LP rewards through the Minter app. I don't really like this doing everything in Curve deal and going through an additional Curve contract. But I can kind of understand that they need a way of properly keeping track of all of the LPs that are eligible to earn rewards, so maybe that makes sense. I don't know. If you have an explanation, that's better than mine, then, please let me know in the comments, and maybe I can add a little thing across the screen that sort of explains it to everybody else. All right. But then, yeah, so now that I have deposited my tokens into the Gauge contract, I can see that I have LP tokens that are deposited. I can choose to withdraw them. I can claim my SNX incentives. I can choose to deposit more SUSD pool tokens, as many as I'd like. And I can choose to claim as many Curve tokens as I have generated. So this is kind of as far as I've gotten with the whole thing. I feel a little bit better because I feel like, okay, my tokens are earning CRV. I can see the vesting schedule. I know that my tokens are, unvesting over a certain amount of time. Next thing I'm wondering about is this whole voting DAO business. So, cool thing about the governance in Curve, it makes me really excited to be a Curve user, is I think that they're incentivizing governance properly. I think a lot of these other apps like MakerDAO, I don't think they really have proper incentives for token voting. And I think their voting turnout is really, really low. And I think they're incentivizing people to just lend out their Maker token so that they can earn yield on it rather than actually vote with it themselves, because there's no reason to hold on to it and vote, unless you really, are a diligent democratic voting kind of person. But most people are not. They need a little bit of help, and that's what Curve does. It gives you this incentive to participate in governance, and that incentive means that you can lock your Curve token into the governance contract for a week or as long as 4 years, apparently. That seems crazy. But you can lock your token, and by doing so, the time locking amplifies your voting power, and it amplifies your the Curve balance that you accrue. So your APY will actually increase through locking. And I think this is great because it means the people who are locking really are invested long term in the protocol, and I think that this creates incentives to align LPs and Curve token holders to try to continue improving it, being involved in governance. I think that's all great stuff. On the other hand, I'm not quite sure how it works yet. So it looks like you need to have vested Curve in order to start voting, and you need at least 2,500 vested Curve to be able to create a vote. So I don't know if vested Curve is one-to-one with the CRV token. What I can show you is just what the guys at Curve have posted on their guides on voting and vote locking on the Curve DAO, so you can check that out. They show you a little dashboard of how the voting process would work on a proposal. So they show us a little bit about the vote locking process. It's important to note, they say, that you cannot decrease your lock time. Once you've locked your tokens, they're stuck there for that amount of time. So make sure that you don't actually need them when you lock them up. Right, so submitting a proposal, you'll need to lock 10,000 CRV tokens for a year, or 20,000 for 6 months, for example, to reach a voting weight of 2,500 vested Curve, and to be able to submit proposals. Okay, so I guess that seems to me like something to strive for. I want to stake my CRV tokens. I want to have 20,000 tokens, and I want to stake them lock them for 6 months, so that I'll be eligible to submit proposals. That sounds like a good goal. goalpost, huh? And here they kind of cryptically say that by doing so, you can multiply your CRV rewards by up to 2.5x. That sounds attractive. I'm not sure if I really understand the relationship between locking your tokens and how much amplification of the Curve reward you get, how much amplification of your voting rights do you get. I guess that's just something that we're going to have to wait and see, because I believe that right now voting on mainnet DAO is not enabled so that a malicious actor can't attack the protocol through the governance while the DAO is new. So it's still early days. We're still trying to figure out how this is all gonna play out, I think. If you have any explanation of things that I'm unclear of that you can fill in the gaps here, please leave something in the comments about it and help share the information to everybody. This is something we all need. I think that Curve has a really bright future as being one of the dominant DeFi apps on Ethereum. I think that what they've shown us with what they're able to do with this really efficient stablecoin transaction algorithm, I think they're going to bring some really interesting tools beyond that in the future, and so I'm super excited to see what ends up becoming of Curve. I want to share that with other people and with other like-minded people who are also excited about it, and hopefully, we'll all participate in the governance and make Curve have a brighter future. So I'm looking forward to it. Hope you are too. That's it for today. Have a good one.